Let me briefly preface this script by saying that this video will help you whether you've played Core Keeper or not. We'll be touching on the new stuff of course, and to illustrate why that new stuff works so well, we'll be rediscovering what makes Core Keeper such a compelling survival crafting game in the first place. And if you're like me, a game like that usually goes like, try to make a house, get overwhelmed with the possibilities, go adventuring instead, get inspired by architecture you see, go back, over the course of your entire playthrough slowly deck out your base with friends, and then bury them. Speaking of, my friends would bury me if I didn't disclose something before we continue. I'm sponsored by Core Keeper's publisher, Fireshine Games, but I actually approached to them years ago about doing this instead of them coming to me, owed to how much I loved the game, and they were generous enough to do this. This is the second sponsored upload I'm doing for them actually. Don't think this means the video will be uninformative or not genuine however, because by God did they address what was easily my two biggest criticisms with the game in the time between that upload and this one. Without further ado, let's keep course. This video assumes you know the basic characteristics of most survival crafting games. Before we talk about the latest content from the Void and Voltage update, it's important to address what was easily my two biggest issues with Core Keeper. So Core Keeper helped me rediscover a childlike whimsy with video games I hadn't felt in some time, taking breaks between the mainline bosses scattered across my map to terraform the world from a dirt desert into a sprawling estate of glass-rimmed rooms and glowing indoor pools was not only a sight to behold, but a privilege to create. Its adventure-ridden biomes and plethora of decorative options are distracting in the best kind of way, pulling you from one project you're working on to the next before you can ever finish anything, including the main quest. The game's titular core tasks you with defeating several creatures of legend to progress through the main story and unlock new biomes, building materials, the works. And it's not long after that that the familiar loop of this kind of game starts to take shape, and I love it for that. Getting off track is part of the fun. I let monsters roam the world wreaking havoc in my negligence, so I could stay home and make sure my carpet perfectly tied the room together. The hardest part about making this upload was being perpetually pulled back into all the little obsessions that Core Keeper so selfishly doles out. I am tasked in this video with writing about all of the updates that have been added since my last published thoughts on the game, and absolutely there have been plenty, but I just got sucked back into the game in general. Using some restraint however, I was able to pull myself away long enough so I could write a video that distills what I love about this game so much, even if I did have my gripes. Due to the sheer wealth of what the environment was willing to give you, your backpack filled super quickly. This puts you in a perpetual cycle of stopping and sorting your inventory rather than, playing the game. This is an issue that will never be completely fixed in any title unless you go full bottomless inventory a la Elden Ring, and while it is cool being a walking armory, and something like Core Keeper, a survival crafting game, where hunger and item preparation is integral to the game's DNA, a decision like this would make things a little bit too much like a diet creative mode. Thankfully the Bags and Blast update addresses this issue while still making what you prepare important. As the name implies, it adds bags that expand your inventory, though they are item specific like fish, ore, or plant seeds. These bags go a long way in making sure you're not too topped off and spend more time on the road gathering the stuff you actually want for your base. An aspect that oft gets ignored when talking about these kinds of games, I feel, is how much the player is rewarded for preparation and combat. It's one thing to go into a dangerous area in most games and survive by the skin of your teeth, but doing so in Core Keeper often means you brought the right potions, crafted the right gear, and kept your head on straight. None of which you have to do in the new Monster Hunter game, by the way. Just saying. Circling back, my second biggest issue was constantly sorting through my trove of chests to find the exact ingredients for whatever I wanted to make. But fortunately for us, Core Keeper has gone the Terraria route and made it so that being within proximity of a chest while crafting something is enough. Gone are the days of searching your home like it's a grocery store. I don't think it's a secret that survival crafting games live and die in their quality of life additions. Friction between the player and managing or gathering items is a bad place to have a pain point, considering they'll be doing that thousands of times. Quality of life isn't just stuff in menus though, and you could argue that some of the new mechanizations in the Void and Voltage update are basically an in-universe QOL feature. If you're like me and don't mess with redstone or other things like this in games, do not be intimidated, as some of the stuff here just makes any workflow for you better whether you're an engineering genius or not. Within minutes, me and a friend were able to make a contraption for harvesting purple slime. New automation items in the Void and Voltage update include, but are not limited to, an item collector, which picks up whatever's in front of it, a robot farm arm that automatically plants seeds, a shredder, which scraps tools for you, a fishing net, I'll let you guess what that does, and multiple kinds of circuits, among other things. As useful as these new items are, they all feed into the base management part of the game, and while that is a big focus of Core Keeper, the combat and adventuring side of things is no slouch by any means. The bosses in particular are some of my favorite I've fought in a top-down game in a very long time, and there's numerous ways to deal with both them and their minions owed to the over 50 armor sets and weapon options in the game, some of which are new to this update. Like, I'm getting a bit off topic here, but just the offhand weapons in this game alone are so varied. Some of them let you block attacks, while others give you a straight up dodge. There's even one that makes almost half of all incoming damage get absorbed by your mana. Neat. Bosses and enemies are also varied, each shooting for their own weird types of projectiles and different speeds and sizes. Like, seriously, if there was no building aspect to this game at all and it was just stat upgrades and action, Core Keeper would still be a really fun time. New biomes in Core Keeper aren't merely new scenery with the same monsters and repeating tile sets for miles, however. They're what level/areas in any game should be. Distinct collections of new enemies and environmental obstacles that make you behave differently. All of them take on a bullet hellish nature in how they play, but the patterns are different. Whether it's the writhing octopus arms hurling speedballs at you in the sunken sea, or the hit-scan homing lasers in the shimmering frontier, every place dislikes you in its own unique way. But those plants in the forest area that hold you in place can eat my unwiped ass. Speaking of biomes, Breaker's Reach is the new one, and it checks the list on everything I'd want out of a new Core Keeper area. Interesting enemies, a cool new boss fight, plenty of new decorative stuff. It feels distinct from its neighboring areas in the way it forces you through its halls. Unbreakable walls, tight corners, and traps punctuate this beast of a place, though there are no beasts. Robots here will fling oil and fire, or charge at you with reckless abandon, and while they will make you feel squishy, they are some of the coolest enemies in the game. In the hands of a lesser developer, all of the places mentioned in this video would blur together, but it's clear that there was a very conscious effort to not have the player feel like they're putzing around the same place in different colors. Each level had a vision, a different way to engage the player, and I know some of the stuff I'm saying is just video game design 101, but with the amount of survival crafting games that fall flat in this regard, I feel it's important to praise the distinctness of each region. As I touched on earlier, I was astounded at how much the environments in this game are willing to part with, irregardless of size. If there's a giant tree or collapsed pillar that looks cool, you can just take it, put it somewhere in your base where it'll be the cherry on top of what already looks cool to you. Actually, everything in this game looks cool, man-made or not. The pixel art is immaculate, oozing color and cuteness in equal measure. The water is pretty enough that it's a detriment to the game, as you'll be so taken at how it looks you won't be able to focus on anything so long as you're near a coastline. Despite the realistic lighting effects, it doesn't clash with the pixelated art style somehow, which is very much to your benefit because lighting is obviously a huge contributor in making your place look nice. Core Keeper afforded me a level of creative expression I'd missed deeply. Digesting this world's contents through sword and shovel only to spit it out in my own image was incredibly fulfilling. And I understand that CK is not the first game to ever do this, but it does a fantastic job of combining its inspirations into one sleek, frictionless package. Void and Voltage adds not only what I've covered in this video, but new NPCs, workbenches, OSTs, and more. In the interest of preserving your discovery, I have foregone some of the new stuff from this video, but absolutely give it a go. I promise you will not regret taking the plunge on Core Keeper. Thank you so much to my patrons who allow me to do stuff like this, including Nate the Great 228, Jaded, Melody, Mike, Hidden, Ali, Stalking, Flacco, Amber Beanbag, and Near. Thank you so much to Fireshine Games for letting me do this. Core Keeper is available on the PlayStation and Xbox family of consoles. It's also on the Nintendo Switch. Be sure to click the link in the description if you wanted to go ahead and check out the game. Have a great rest of your day, and boo-boo. Hey man.